This is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 5. Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. And the purpose of me making this video is to go into how America, which is the mystery whore Babylon, that sits upon the beast, which is the 7 heads and 10 horns. The 7 heads go back to the EU, the 10 horns go back to NATO. And also on how they will turn on America because of America's involvement with putting more tension and putting more friction between Russia and Turkey and more of Iran and China and North Korea, and a lot of their allies do business with them. I mean, it's the world economic economy, really, the international economy. And when America puts sanctions on certain countries, it also hurts their allies and their economy. But before I proceed, I want to give all the honor, glory, and praises unto YAHAWAH, BaHaShem, YAHAWASHI, BaHaShem, RAWACHAA, QADASH. Double honors to my elders at Great MILESTONE who rule well. Singing honors to the elect. Peace and blessings be to the sincere men, women, and children that consist of the 1/3. Peace and blessings to the confusion of faces in the 4 corners of earth. Shalom. I will leave a link of this article in the description box. Now, Habakkuk 2 and 5. Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine. What is wine? Wine is his philosophies and his doctrines and his laws. A sanction is a law, right? International law. And America seems to be the only country that predominantly puts sanctions on other countries. I.e., they even put sanctions on, I think, Russia and Germany when they was getting ready to complete their Nord Stream pipeline. They were like somewhere at 90%, spent billions of dollars, and they just dropped sanctions on them. Just told them to stop. Then they finally completed, right? He is a proud man, proud to be an American, right? Neither keepeth at home. America has the most military bases in the world in over 100+ countries. I think China and Russia probably have at least 4 or 5 at the most out of their own country. And they have a far greater army and a far much more land than America. Who enlargeth his desire as hell. Why is there all these military bases everywhere? So that they can control the world. Job 9:24, the earth is given to the hands of the wicked. What was Esau's blessing? To live by the sword, which is America's military, their might, their strength, their grit, and to have the fatness of the earth. What is that? That you can have all possession of the earth. But they do it by their laws, their wicked laws. Who enlarges his desire is hell. Everywhere they go is just death. Look at Sudan. Look at Libya, Egypt, Pakistan, Look what happened to Afghanistan for 20 years. People falling off a plane. Now people over there were selling organs for food, right? And is as death. Nagasaki, Hiroshima. Syphilis experiment. I mean, you just go on and on. Hell, transatlantic slave trade. And cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Remember that. Heap unto him all nations and all people, because this is going to correlate with Revelation, the 17th chapter. But let me go into this article a little bit. Germany calls out Russia over political gas cut. Russia's Gazprom has cut its flow via the Nord Stream pipeline, citing technical issues caused by Western sanctions. When you hear Western, they're talking about mainly America. So America's sanctions, you know what Russia said? You know what? Hey, your homie over there, you know, he keep coming in the hood and causing ruckus and bringing a lot of heat this way. Hey, I'm going to have to cut your supply a little bit here, man, because your homie... So that's pretty much what Russia's saying. Like, listen here, America's putting sanctions on us, right? Those are your allies. But we do business with you. We're going to have to cut this off because we can't afford... And Germany's like, wait a minute, no, this is a political move. But guess what? They wasn't doing this prior to them sanctions, right? Hearken. Berlin has condemned Russian energy giant Gazprom's decision to cut its gas flow through the Nord Stream pipeline over technical difficulties, with the country's economy minister, Robert Habeck, claiming the move was politically motivated. Alright, I'm going to jump around a little bit, but like I said, you can read the article in your own time. It says, the company explained it has to halt operations at one, I think it's Siemens, SIEMENS, or Siemens pumping unit at the pipeline, blaming the technical issues on Western sanctions. Western sanctions. This is another reason why the beast shall hate the whore. Whore is the mystery whore of Babylon, America. We're going to get to that later on. Bear with me. Namely, the repaired gas pumping units for the Nord Stream pipeline cannot be returned from a factory in Canada, another ally of NATO and EU, I should say, due to the country's sanctions against Russia. Oh, so America throwing a monkey wrench in everybody's operation between Canada and between Germany. Okay, jumping down. Habeck, however, challenged this assessment, expressing doubts that switching off a single unit could actually affect some 40% of the flow, y'all. 40% of the flow. Damn. And it's cold up there in Germany. It can get hot too. But man, you know it be blizzards. The minister also said the maintenance work on the pipeline that would have had a, quote, relevant, unquote, effect on the flow was due to be carried out by Simon or Siemens only in the fall of this year. But they can't get the repaired tools or gadgets, so to say, because of the sanctions. And hey, I would legit milk that too if I were Putin. Hey, listen here, man, we can't get y'all gas. So we gotta cut 40% off because of these sanctions, man. Hey, tell America to call us, man. Tell them to holler at us. Tell Biden to hit me up on my personal line. Man, this is chess, not checkers, man. Continuing. The Nord Stream, running under the Baltic Sea, connects the Portavaya compressor station in Russia to its counterpart in Greifswald in northeastern Germany. The European market receives some 55 billion cubic meters of gas per year via the pipeline. Now, with that being said, let's go back to the Bible. So pretty much, Russia's telling Germany, listen, we got to cut supply, 40% of supply y'all gas because these Western sanctions. Canada, we know that you guys repaired a certain instrument that helps this runs function, that makes this function and run properly, but we're not allowed to export it or import it here, I should say, because these sanctions. Man, smart, hard ball. This is Revelation chapter 17, verse 1. I'm not going to go in depth, but I want to get to some key points. And there came one of the seven angels which had the seven vials, and talked with me, saying, Come hither. I will shew unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication. They laid in bed with America. And the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication, by the philosophies, like people in China, all these buildings, all these cars, wearing suits with ties, shaving off their beards, things of that nature, right? So, and also remember this too. When it says, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been drunk with the wine of fornications, okay? Once again, you got to remember something too. The entire world got rich off the transatlantic slave trade. Remember that, y'all. Or should I say they benefited from it, okay? So he carried me away in the spirit in the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast full of names of blasphemies, having 7 heads and 10 horns. Okay? Now I'm gonna jump it down. You can read it for yourself. But so pretty much you heard, okay, the beast, the whore America that sits on the beast, the 7 heads, which is EU, and the 10 horns, which is NATO, and the waters will go back to the people, how they rule over the world. Okay, listen to this. Verse 9. And here is the mind which have wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains on which the woman sitteth, meaning 7 countries. The mountains would be bigger countries. The hills would be smaller countries. The Bible is parabolic. Remember that, people. Now, jumping down in verse 15. And he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest where the whore sitteth are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. Why you think they have something known as the G20 summit? Where you have the top 20 leaders of all the top 20 countries on earth come together. You know this is called a summit, right? What is a summit? The summit is the peak, the top of a mountain. See, the Bible speaks parabolic talk. Okay? Verse 16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore. Okay? Germany is also a part of NATO. And shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. That's why all this talk is about nuclear war. Oh my God, one. That's why I did that video yesterday, right? So these countries are getting fed up with America, and it's biblical prophecy is gonna come to pass. You can already see their fall. You had the Brexit, Turkey. Supposed to be a part of NATO, but they buying weapons from Russia. It's like Germany supposed to be a part of NATO, which they are, I'm just saying in general, but they're still doing business with Russia, who's supposed to be the arch nemesis of America, right? And Russia's allies with Iran, who Israel disdain, who they want to nuke. By Iran, like, we ain't going nowhere. You know, that's them Persians, man, right? And then you got China, Moab over there, saying we ain't budging, we finna take Taiwan. And then Kim Jong-un just came out of nowhere. You know, after he went on this little break, he was like, you know what? I want to test some nukes. Listen here, people. We are at the precipice of all hell breaking loose, of shit hitting the fan. And you can see the disparity on people's faces. But you know what? I'm glad. Just like when it rains and people have to slow down to drive, that means that you living your life according to how God wants you to live it. So the way the Lord is breaking down the economies and having these nations rising against nations and people against people, what are we supposed to be doing? The elect, the hope for the elect. The Lord said, enter down into my chamber until the indignation pass over for a little while. Y'all, we're supposed to be smiling. We're supposed to be happy. This is the demise. This is the downfall of Esau Edom's kingdom that was built off of slavery, rape, robbery, murder. Great robbery, murder. I'm not monetized by it. I don't care. Right? Just degraded. It's just this is gonna be the end of America. All the other countries gonna go down too. The King of Kings gonna come down and take all the crowns of all the kings of the earth, meaning all the rulers of the earth. Right? So we, knowing all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons are we to be in all holy conversations? Because we look for a new heaven and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness. Like it says in the book of Acts, the 14th chapter, if I'm not mistaken, the 22nd verse or 23rd verse. Through much tribulation shall we enter to the kingdom of heaven. We're going to go through the tribulation, but guess what's at the end of our tunnel? It's the glorious light of YAHAWASHI. But at the end of Esau and the heathen's tunnel is a train. So with that being said, I pray you was edified and fed. Stay in the spirit, don't fear it, just endure it. Ask for forgiveness, pray without ceasing, stay humble, remain diligent. YAHAWAH, Shalom.